He's never been. This is his first time around being controversial. Like he doesn't know how it goes. He doesn't know how to be toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like
He
I'm never gonna play. I want to play for Miami. He's trying his best, bro. He's trying his
and
best,
and
but
then he gets fined, and he's like,
you're
I'll
right.
play for any team.
I'm sorry. I'll come back. All right.
Right, this guy like pulled a 360 like.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Court of Kings. Yours, your host, Austin Chang, and with me every other week, Ryan Hugh. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. I see that you got a new piercing.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. Had to switch it up on them.
Bro, is
You
it just yeah, is
what?
it one or two? Do you have one or two piercings on the
No,
ear?
I have two. I had studs for a long time, and no one ever noticed it. And I switched it up, and I go to work yesterday, and people were like, "Wait, what? When'd you get piercings, bro?" I'm like, "Come on, man, y'all never noticed, bro. Why don't you do
Nah,
piercings? Are you a
nah,
piercing
bro.
guy?
I no piercings scare me. Like
They scare you.
it's a fucking needle through the earlobe. Like I can't do that, man.
Oh, just to scare you even more, when I got my piercing, I got it at Pacific Mall. Like just to let you
Oh,
know how the quality was.
it's P Mall, bro. It's
No,
P
man,
Mall.
they shot it, and like I think under 2 weeks it got infected, and like my ear was like a ball.
Why
So
did you do it at Clear's?
oh, dude, I went with another friend like a month ago at Claire's, and like it was okay. Like I think the experience at P Mall is like, come on, you can't pass that up. Like you go to like a dungeon to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's did you
It
do
was
it
like
at
it was like $15, bro. Like it was so cheap.
it's cheap at P Mall, but it's sus. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Hey man,
so sus.
look, dude, it's working, bro. It's working.
Yeah. I don't know. I can do tattoos. I can't do piercings.
Wow. Oh damn. No,
Yeah.
so never in your life you're doing a piercing,
No, I don't plan on doing a piercing ever.
but a tattoo. Like, would you get a tattoo?
I would cover my entire chest and back with tattoos.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
not my
sick.
arms, neck or legs.
Yeah,
Not
because if you're a professional, then you can't have that
well like
visible.
well think about it. Like nowadays it doesn't matter as much considering like it's just an expression of how you see yourself, but to me, I think tattoos should be something for yourself, right? I think
Yeah, true.
if they mean something to yourself, to you, you don't need to necessarily show others. So I'd rather just keep it on
So
my
like, what would you put?
chest.
What would you put?
So I'm thinking of um I like quotes, right? I like quotes a lot.
Okay.
And I get different quotes around my collarbone, my back, maybe like angel wings on my chest, like across like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Family members' names across like across my spine or
Okay. So would you
my
ever,
scalp.
let's say you get married, would you get a tattoo of your significant other's name?
No, my kids would, but I don't think I would get
Okay.
one for my
Okay.
significant others.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Like
Cause okay,
kids are
cause
eternal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
kids are forever, man. Like love them or hate them, like they were a part of you. Like you were a part of that process. But
yeah.
like the partner's cool and everything, but like maybe in a few years I'll change my answer. But right now I think kids are what are the most important part of it.
Yeah.
I
Like,
wouldn't know. I don't have kids, not that I know of. But
oh, I
uh,
think, oh, whoa, whoa. Are you dabbling in that on that kind of activity?
we don't need to talk about this on this podcast right now. But
Okay. Okay. Shit,
I'm
dude.
just saying, like I think kids, if you tattooed your kids, I respect that.
Yeah, like I was thinking about tattoos. Like people always ask me because like I don't know. They also assume I have tattoos. I was like I'll get one here, maybe like XO. I don't know why. I just
XO.
because the weekend just that's my dog,
Mm,
bro. That's my dog.
yep,
Like
true.
that's my whole thing, dude. I might get it here or like if I was going crazy with it, like the chest, like all and the whole arm up to like here.
That'd be sick though. That'd be sick.
That's like the Samoan one, bro. Those
Yeah.
actually look so dope.
What would be an okay? What would be an animal you would put on yourself?
An animal?
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't know why, but like the Chinese dragon.
Chinese dragon.
Yeah, like that actually would be kind of cool. Or the lion.
A lion's cool. Lion's cool. Like you seen a Ricky Rubio's tat of the lion?
I think I see. Is that on his like chest or something?
It's on his arm.
Oh, it's on his arm.
It is on his arm.
Oh, I probably don't know that one then. I know someone
Nah,
has a
and
chest tattoo of it, of like a lion.
someone probably does. I'm pretty sure Rubio's is on his like his left or right shoulder. But I thought that was pretty cool.
I might have to pull that up at some point and see what it is. Actually, let me look at it right now. You know, I'm on the podcast.
Yeah, you're on the pod. You just might as well, man.
Let me just look at a tattoo. Oh, that's okay. Let's see. Oh, it's like, but it's his whole arm, like this
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Oh shit, dude.
Would you do that something like that?
Probably not. Probably not.
Mm,
I mean, Rubio, like, Spanish guy, like, he looks cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
that's a Spanish kind of thing. I don't know if it's an American kind of thing or Canadian kind of thing. Maybe I need like a moose. I want a moose on the side of
Ooh,
my head.
or
A
what's that?
beaver.
I was gonna say a beep or no, platypus don't exist here.
A
The
platypus.
Canada goose.
Canada goose. True, true.
True. I
Yeah.
would get an owl. I would probably get an owl.
OVO blood money, huh?
Not the OVO, not the OVO,
OVO,
like an
dude.
actual like an actual owl.
Okay. Why an
Yeah,
owl? That's like kind of off the board.
well, owls are like they're like all seeing, they're like wise, and I think they're just cool, the coolest type of bird.
Okay.
There
That's a good
should be a
answer.
team called the owls.
Oh, we're going back to this topic, huh?
Yeah, there should be a team called the owls.
The Ottawa Owls. Oh,
Ooh,
oh,
that
dude.
actually hits hard.
Ottawa Owls, bro.
Auto,
That's like a hockey, like a second league hockey team, like a second division hockey team kind of name, dude. The Ottawa Owls, dude. Put them in the OHL or something.
oh, which owl? No, but I would get an owl. Definitely. I think they're the coolest bird, and I just really like how they do shit.
Okay, they do shit. Like it's like you see them,
Bro,
right?
bro, like,
Wait, they only show up at night. How do you even see what they do,
bro,
bro?
I went camping last week, and throughout the night, you just heard that the
I
whole
didn't even
night.
hear it, bro. They didn't even hear it.
Oh, damn. It went whoo like
Oh,
that.
and oh, because their name is Who,
Yeah.
huh? That's why. No,
Oh,
it's because
okay.
their name's Who. That's why you want to owl, dude.
I mean, like, low key, that could be a good reasoning. I just didn't think of that.
That's true. That might be it instead, dude. That might be
That
it.
might be it. That just might be it. But yeah, I
Is this a
think.
basketball podcast? I forgot.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right. You're right. What are we talking about today?
Something. We're talking about the top 75 anniversary team that they
Right.
released.
We did talk about that
The
2
topic
weeks
that
ago.
maybe like 50,000 people have already talked about, but it's like the off season. It's getting pretty desperate, so we gotta talk about something.
Hey man, like right now, I'm just down for anything basketball.
Oh, of course.
Season's about to start in a few weeks. Fantasy's about we're gonna start
Fantasy,
that up soon.
fantasy's starting up,
Yo,
dude.
speaking of, we're doing an actual host like a party event this year, right?
Says who? This is the
'Cause
announcement. I didn't even know
I
about
want,
this.
bro, I want it to be, bro. I wanted an actual like event where all men come down to like a common like Michael's house or something.
Or that place that you're sitting in right
Yeah,
now.
that's true. We could come down here.
Literally
Yeah.
sitting in your place right now.
But yeah, I think that'd be a sick idea if we can pull it off.
That'd be sick. People are busy.
Yeah,
School's coming up.
school's coming up for sure, but like, there's got to be like some time where everyone's free.
Has to be. Has to be.
There's has to be, man. Like, no way everyone's working 24/7.
You never know.
Mm,
Yeah, you
mm.
never know. You never know.
But yeah, today we'll be talking about top 75, our snubs on that, and what is it, top 10 players of entering the season?
Yeah, like it's actually kind of like a controversial topic. We're talking about this, and it's like after the top 75. It's just like an add-on. Is our top 10 players that we
Bro,
have.
we're like 2 years too late.
Yeah, we're literally 2 years too late, dude. This is like a old podcast, dude. We're actually releasing an old podcast. This is old.
This is old. We are recording this back in 2021.
Yeah, I
So,
have a beard in
mm,
2023.
for
I'm
sure.
bald. Yeah. So this is like young me, dude.
This is super young you.
Yeah, super young me, dude.
Let's get started. Before we begin, just want to shout out to PJ Washington. He finally signed a new contract. Like, holy, that took too long.
Yep, way too long, dude.
Bro, what was it? 3 years, 48?
Yeah, pretty decent contract for him. I thought he would maybe get more, like someone with an offer sheet of something else, but I mean, I guess there wasn't that much of a market for him.
I mean, like, what? He's making 16 million a year-ish?
I mean, I feel like he could have probably commanded around 20. Like he's like a scoring forward. Like he can shoot at a position that doesn't have much shooting. Like he's about what 6'10" ish. Like it's a pretty like favorable prospect to take a shot at, and 16 mil is like that's like kind of I don't know like in today's NBA that's
That's like
low
role
end
player
starter
money,
money.
right?
Yeah, like low end starter type money. So I mean it's a good contract for him, I guess. Like if he wants
Yeah.
the longevity, or maybe if he wants to get out during free agency during a more favorable time, because I guess there wasn't that much of a market for anyone this year because I
Mm,
don't know most people's cap space is already like taken up.
use it
So
up
maybe
and
he just wants to
everything.
go into a better market.
Yeah. I think PJ Washington. It's weird because they brought back Bridges as well, right? Miles Bridges is back on the team too. So
Yeah.
and they're both playing the 3-4 area, three
I
four
think
spots.
PJ plays more of the four, and like
Mm.
maybe small ball five. Like Bridges is more of like a set play. I think he's like just definitely a three. Like he doesn't really switch up that
All
much.
right, all right. Now's my question for you.
All right.
What's going to happen to Gordon Hayward?
Uh, I don't know. Going like now that Bridges is back is kind of tough, but I could see Bridges like if things aren't going well, like they can just deal him, or because I don't think there's that much of a market for him. Like it won't be too hard to trade him. Like maybe a couple seconds will be enough for Hayward at this point. Get into a team that probably wants to contend. Like they need like I don't know like a backup three that can play around 20 minutes or like an injury replacement because he's still a good player. We seen last year like he still can produce. It just that his injuries hold him back. So if he's not getting the minutes in Charlotte, like why not just trade him? Like it's not too hard of a thing to do, I guess.
Hayward has always been one of those players that I actually really liked, but he was never amazing, you know?
Oh, he was amazing. He was in Utah. He was amazing.
His his lone All-Star appearance in Utah was like what, 21 points per game?
It
Like,
was, but it was like him coming off. Like he's breaking out, and in that playoff series, like it really seemed like he was
okay,
peaking.
yeah, the playoff,
Like you
and then
you
he
thought
left for
next year he
Boston.
was gonna drop like 20 for a game easily, but I mean breaks
The
his leg.
injury.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just always liked his, like, especially 20, I think 2018 or 2019 Boston. I thought that roster was hella stacked.
Yeah,
Like
it
'cause
was.
they had Kyrie, I think. They had
It's like the first
Hayward.
year of Horford as well. Like, oh man.
Bro, that was a disappointing team considering so much talent on that roster, but I think
Mhm. And they like
well,
still kind of pulled it out. Like Kyrie gets injured too, and they make it to the conference finals.
yeah.
So
Well, it's conference semis, I think, because Toronto made it to the finals that year.
yeah, the conference finals.
Semi. We faced my Milwaukee in the finals. In the semi.
Dude, what was the
Whatever,
year
whatever.
that it was LeBron in Boston? That was 2018. Oh,
That
that
was
was
2018. I'm thinking 2019.
2019.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're right.
yeah. 2019 was a disappointing year for Boston.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
They just yeah. I mean, hopefully this season, I think they're probably like the team to pick out the East. If I had to guess,
for Boston.
yeah, if I had to guess, like they're probably the number one guy like team off in the East.
I still think that Milwaukee is the better overall team in terms of like chemistry between Middleton, Giannis,
Of course,
Brooke
chemistry.
Lopez, Holiday, like all of that
Yeah,
matters so much. You
they're
can't
like the
just throw.
Spurs. They're like the old Spurs.
Yeah,
They're just like all reliable. It feels like at this point.
they're the old modern day Spurs pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would in a 7 game series, I would probably take Milwaukee over Boston if they were all healthy.
hmm
But anything less, I think Boston's going to make it out.
Yeah, I really think it's a toss up. As Milwaukee, I'm just worried about the injuries, or not the injury, like the longevity of those guys. Like Chris Middleton is coming off like a tough injury.
Hmm.
Holiday kind of slowed down last season a little bit. Like
Towards the end, yeah.
you could see those guys slowing down even more this season, but obviously you're banking on like them all just being the same guys, and like
Well,
their
there's
games
yeah,
aren't too like they're not like athletic based. Like Middleton and Holiday, they're not too athletic based. So
they're
it's
more skill based actually.
exactly
They're
so
much more skill based. And then what? Brooke Lopez is turning what, 34, 35.
yeah, around there, like middle mid
Giannis
thirties.
is
He's
Giannis
still
is
Giannis. He's still the best player in the league.
he's the best, he's definitely
Second,
still the best
second,
player.
second, second, second. I forgot
Ooh, still
Jokic.
I
Jokic
still
is easily one. Jokic is easily one. No way,
we'll,
Ryan. Okay, we'll talk about this later.
we'll talk about this later. We'll
We'll
talk
talk
about
about
this
this
later.
later.
We'll talk about this later. But I think between the two, I would take Milwaukee if healthy.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there was another thing that happened recently. James Harden was fined 100K for his comments about Daryl Morey being a liar, and I will never
Yeah.
play for him again. Like, oh, I did not. Okay, not that I was not expecting it, but I didn't think that he would go outright publicly saying it. That just seemed
Yeah.
hella unprofessional. That just seems so unprofessional to me.
I mean, I think he was just that's some propaganda. Like you're in China. Like if you say someone sucks and they love you there, they will hate the guy that you talked about. Like Maury is probably
He
a wanted man in
he
China.
is a wanted man in China. He about his comments a few years ago, and
Oh
now
my
this,
god.
yeah,
Yo,
because
Harden
China
knew what he was
loves
doing.
Harden. China loves Harden.
Yeah, and then who was it? Yeah, Maury talk like back to LeBron about the China
Yeah,
comments. Damn. So Maury he's fucked in China. Like, he can't go to China no more.
no,
Like Harden just solidified that.
yeah,
So yeah.
it's tough. But like I think, even though it might have been an act or whatever, I think Harden should still not have done that because at the
Definitely
end of the
not.
day, he's technically still your boss. He is the one who decides where you want to go, where he wants to send you to. Like this guy's going to send you to Utah now. Like that's
Like saying the worst team.
send him to the worst team. Just like waste another year of your declining prime.
Damn, you're hating on him,
No,
dude.
I don't like James Harden. I just don't like James Harden. I'll
Yeah.
pick him in fantasy if I have to, but I just
No,
don't
you
like the guy.
won't. You won't.
I did in like a few years ago.
Few years ago, dude. Is
Yeah.
a different time.
Mm, I'll do what I have to do.
Like not veto trades that should have been vetoed.
Oh my God.
Hmm?
We don't have to
What
talk
about
about that.
that, dude? What about that, Ryan?
Bro, relax.
Okay.
That's that's a whole different thing we can talk about later.
Of course.
But yeah, 100K.
That's the max they could have fined them.
Is it actually? I thought it
Yeah.
could have been more.
No, it was max 100K for something like that.
Mm.
So they did what they had to do. If there was more, they probably would have fined like 1 million. Like that is some pretty like that's a really bad thing to say in public,
That
especially
is
in
a super
China. Like
bad thing.
you're literally like ruining his like kind of life. Like he can't go to China now. Like he's fucked.
Bro, no, that's so messed up. Like what the hell, bro?
Damn, are you feeling bad for Maury?
Yeah, I feel bad for
You start
Murray.
crying for Maury.
I would. Bro, he's just doing his job. He wants what's
Hey, he
best
lied.
for
He lied to Harden. But honestly, like if I'm Harden, like I can't even like I'll feel like okay, maybe Harden responds to like things like that a bad way. I agree it was really bad, but like if you're if you were promised like I don't know if he's promised, but like behind
what
closed
he
doors, they probably
promised.
like a max contract. Like he took a hit on his contract to make their team better this year. And Murray probably offered him like a wing wing deal. Like a lot of teams do that. Like
Hmm.
you see guys get bad contracts all the times. Like some of them are like just like under the table deals that they made prior. Like they had to fulfill their promise. Like Murray straight lied to him. That's what probably what happened. And Harden opted in, and they had. I'm pretty sure that I heard that they had a thing where Murray's like, yeah, we'll trade you like as soon as possible. Like if you opt in, we'll trade you as soon as possible. And they didn't even trade him. They still haven't traded him.
Well,
So
they're looking for
it's
the best package.
well, they're asking for too much. Like it's getting to a point where you promise to trade him as soon as possible. It's the season's gonna start soon. Like training camp is already starting at this point. Like Harden probably feels slighted. Like he didn't get the max contract that they probably promised him, and he's not even getting the trade that they promised him. So it's like if I'm Harden, I'm pissed. Like I don't want to play for this team anymore. And you also have to feel for his teammates as well. Like,
Joel Embiid especially.
and I'm pretty sure like the players are close with each other on a lot of teams. So like Harden's probably. I was talking this with my other friend. Like Harden's probably going to Embiid and being like, "Dude, do you see what Morey's doing to me? Like he promised me this. Like all the guys are probably like, damn, like that's messed up. Like they're probably on Harden's side too. And it also sucks for them because like next season they're probably fucked.
Yeah.
So and this all around it's a bad situation.
Or do you think there's a chance Embiid will request a trade out? I know he's had comments about like I just want to win a championship and everything, but
I don't
within
know.
these next year or two, do you think he will request a trade? And if so, where?
I don't know. Embiid kind of strikes me as a bag chaser, to be honest. Like he's not no Giannis. Giannis feels like a guy like Giannis had the comments where he said like, "Oh, if Milwaukee's not all in, I might not resign."
Yeah.
I don't think Embiid's. I think Embiid might just resign still. Like I think he wants some money. But if he was to request a trade, I'm not sure where he would go. Like a team that could like trade and like I don't know. Like Embiid is so hard to fit in a lot of teams because he's like such a set player. Like a big center that plays in the post, demands the ball. He's a defensive monster, but like on offense, like how do you fit him into your system? Because a lot of teams already have like their number one and number two guys,
I
so
mean, he's a
it's
scoring
tough.
leader. He was one of the scoring leaders from the like top two seasons, right?
Yeah,
So you can not saying you can fit him in flawlessly with any other team, but you put him in, obviously you're going to have to give up a whole lot of assets in return. It's an MVP after all. So you put him in, he's probably going to be your number one option right away. Or if
yeah.
so, like if Shea's on the team, number two. Like that's just how it is.
Number
But
two,
then
whoa, Embiid's number one over Shea.
I would take Shea over Embiid. Shea would have the ball more in his hands. He can do what he wants.
I think Shea can have the ball more in his hands, but he's not the number one option. If there's Embiid on the team, Embiid literally was the MVP last season and averaged like 33 a game.
But Shea made first team.
So, so did Embiid. He won
Embiid made
MVP.
Embiid made second team.
And Embiid won MVP.
I thought wait, did Jokic make first team or did Embiid make
I
first
swear
team?
Jokic was second team. Because Embiid won MVP. He was first team. The MVP can't be second. Ryan, the MVP
I
can't
mean,
be second
the
team, bro.
DPOY has made it
That's
to
the
the second
DPOY.
team.
That's the DPOY.
The
This
DPOY
is
has made okay.
you literally get first place votes for MVP. Like that means you're literally like that's first
Okay,
place votes
yeah.
for all NBA. But yeah, so it's like I don't know. And Shea's like I think he's more capable of playing off ball, whereas Embiid he's not really like Shea can benefit from being the second option, while Embiid probably can't. Like I think he needs to be the number one option on any team. Even with the team of Butler, like he was number one option.
So if you were to put Butler and oh wait, no, that's what am I saying? It's yeah, Embiid would be the first option on Miami if
Yeah,
he got
probably.
traded there. Yeah,
Yeah,
he would
yeah,
because we don't even have Butler in our top 10. Like, come on.
yeah. Sadly, I really was fighting. Like
That is
it
that
was
is
such a
super
toss up.
disrespect. Yeah, it's a disrespectful move by us, but I think we'll talk about it in a few
Hey,
minutes.
I
But
mean, listen, dude. It was our opinion, and it's next season. Like that's all
yeah,
I'm saying, dude.
yeah,
like,
for sure, for sure. But like, would you say he would be when the next top like next one's top 100 years, right? Like top 100 players.
yeah,
Do you think Embiid will make it to top 100?
he wasn't on top 75, right?
Wasn't.
That's, I mean, 25 more guys. You're probably adding a lot of modern guys, so I probably have to say like Embiid will be on that. Like MVP, then
Scoring champion.
scoring
Like,
leader. Like,
yeah.
he's been dominant for like the last seems like 4 or 5 years. Like he's probably gonna make it. Like a guy like Dave DeBuscher, if he made it, then like Embiid probably should have made it.
I
Should
mean,
make it.
we got a few snubs coming up next that should have made it, but
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Should we go into
One
mine?
of yeah, let's go right into it. Do you want me to start it off? Because I got one that I think everyone
Jumps
has.
out the page. Yeah, I think I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
number one, I think three-time DPOY, Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard, man.
Like, damn, bro. When I know 2 years too late, but when the news came out and he wasn't on it, obviously he was a role player at that point. But what the hell, bro? This guy won DPOY 3 times. He carried Orlando to the finals. He is a championship. He is a champion now with the Lakers. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
he has
like
all the accolades.
the only thing he was missing was probably MVP, and he was like second in like a few
Yeah,
years in a
he
row,
was like
like
the best center in the league for a long time.
on
Like
on a
I,
bad Orlando Magic team
that
too.
he
Oh,
carried
not
to the
yeah.
yeah he carried to like deep runs in the playoffs. Like it's criminal that he's not on the top 75 list, and you're adding guys like Dame. Like I think this was the biggest case of like I forgot the words. I don't want to try saying the word, but like revisionary or something like revisionist bias or something. Something like that where it's like whatever you've seen happen recently is what
Recency
determines your
bias, yeah,
bias. Yeah, something
recency
like it's
bias.
from recency bias where like Dame just came off that like insane. It wasn't the bubble. It was like the playoff series where he like Austin Rivers was like, thank God he missed the shot. Like it was that series
He
where
went
he
off.
went off, and it's like oh like he's been good for the last 3 seasons. Like let's put him in. Let's put Dame in. Like he just dropped 50 points.
I think it's just because Dame had so much more iconic moments. Because he had the
You
OKC.
think? Do I think? I mean, in of course now like it's recent, so yeah he has more highlights. But like back then, like Dwight was a monster throwing
On the defensive end, I know.
like nasty oops, like blocking shots. Like he was a monster. He looked the part. He was a good personality too. Like I think he was just like blackballed by the NBA to the point where they didn't want to put him on the list.
Part of it goes a lot to the media. Like, I think Dwight's just not a very popular guy amongst media members,
Yeah,
especially with his
that's
old
fair.
coach, right?
Mhm.
With Stan Van Gundy. Like, holy, that did not end well.
That was toxic. It was toxic.
Bro, this guy fired his coach, and then at the next press conference, he was like hugging him, like, holy shit, like, how does that? That is, yeah. But I definitely think, no hate to Dame, but I don't know if Dame deserved 75.
Didn't deserve it over him over Anthony Davis, who I'm probably gonna say next. Anthony Davis probably deserves a spot. Like, even though he has had some rough stretches over the last few years, still a champion. Still was leading bad teams to the playoffs in the Pelicans, and with LeBron that first 2020 year that they won the finals,
The one finals, yeah.
AD was probably the best player on that team. And I think that going to next season, he was probably like a top 3 player in the league. Like he has moments at the top of his craft. He's the best power forward in the league. He has a lot of longevity. Like it's been like over the course of like 8 9 seasons, he's been really good. Like I think he deserves a spot over Dame as well. Like he's been in the league longer than Dame too, so
Hmm.
I think he probably deserves a spot over Dame too.
Yeah, so not saying Dame won't be deserving in the future or anything, but top 75, it's a little bit of stretch for me at
Yeah,
that stage. Well, speaking of Anthony Davis, uh, there have been I've read something I think last week where there was debates between should Pau Gasol have made it over
yeah, I
Anthony
saw that.
Davis, but I was reading through it. I was doing my own like little analysis. I was thinking, was Pau Gasol actually that much better than Anthony Davis? And I gotta say no. I
Yeah,
think the only thing that Pau Gasol does have going for her is international impact on the league because he's from Spain and he brought a lot of European viewers into the league for that as well, which I respect. But his stats overall are lower than AD's. Uh, he has more championships. He has one more championship than him. But I think in terms of like prime, like the player in his prime, Anthony Davis has been much more impactful on that side.
yeah, and it's tough with the top 75 list because it's not like you have a criteria that you base off of. Like everyone probably sees it differently.
Hmm.
So maybe these people that voted Gasol and are like, oh, it's like the legacy that he left behind amongst like him being a Spanish player to be that good, to be like a top player on Memphis, go to LA and like be the second fiddle to Kobe and like I don't know. I think he has such like a strong like culture behind him. Like even now, like a lot of people know Pau Gasol, like and it's like he only averaged like what 16, 17 points per game. Like
Yeah.
it's just the impact that he left behind that probably got him onto the list, which I don't disagree with. But yeah, I'd probably have 80 over him. But I
Hmm.
can definitely see the case. But I feel like we're just going back to Dame all the time. It's like what legacy did Dame have? Like even right now, like he's had buzzer beaters. Like bro, he hasn't even he made it to the conference final one time. Like that was about it.
I think his his biggest one is All NBA first team in what 2018 or 2020. Like
Yeah, like
that, like that,
maybe like in
that.
3 years I could see it, but like come on, right now it's
Right now, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
we're
love
just
Dame and
beating on Dame.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I don't know if he deserves it.
Thing is
But
like I
like,
didn't. Oh yeah, 'cause I didn't like take any older guys out because like I don't know how they
I
play.
don't know
Like
their game,
I
right?
can't
I
speak on
don't.
them. Like Dave the Bush would be the. I looked at his stats and it's like it's not the strongest even in the playoffs. Like he didn't like jump off the page or anything. Like it seems kind of weird to have Dave the Bush in, but like I don't know how he played. I didn't watch him play. Like it's tough for me to like judge like Elvin Hayes even. Like it's
Hmm.
tough. Like if I saw how they played like if I read others' opinions on it, then maybe it'll sway me to say yes. But right now, I can't. Even though these guys on my list are all old as shit, like I can't speak on the other guys to take out.
All right. But if you were in the media, like let's say you knew all the history, you've
Yeah,
watched like clips of the games, would you have made the decision to take out the older players?
honestly, like I think it probably would have made sense to take off older guys. Like it's because they made those lists and they carried over the guys from the top 50 to top 75. Same with the top 25 to the
Yeah.
top 50. I think it probably makes sense to take it out because as more guys come in, like you're pretty much just fucking them over for not being old. Like there are guys that right now that are better than the guys that played back then, but
Yeah,
since
way
they're
better.
on the old list, like it's not a history book, you know, like it's like a list, like it's not a history book.
It's a list
So
of who were the best
yeah,
75 players in all of history.
yeah, it's
That's
disingenuous to like have some of these guys that probably don't deserve it to still be there. If you're top
like
50, it's cool. Like if you don't make the top 75 team, it's not gonna kill you. You
yeah.
know, like it's. I think it just made more sense. Like there are probably guys in the league right now that really probably would have cared about that. Like Dwight, I think really like got hurt by that. Like he deserved a spot. He didn't get a spot just because their older guys were just taking up 50 slots.
Like okay, some of them are deserving. Like I would say
Yeah,
David
majority of them are
Robinson,
deserving.
like
Yeah,
David Robinson would have made it. Will obviously
at least like
Kareem.
80% of them probably would be on the list if I had to guess. Like 80% of those guys probably would be on the list.
But
It's
then
just like
you have a good section of them who are like born in like the 1920s. Like I don't really know if you're
yeah, and
deserving
there are even guys in the ABA that they don't recognize the ABA, the NBA. So like some guys just get like fucked over.
because they
Artis
weren't.
Gilmore, Artis Gilmore
Yeah,
probably would be on it, or even Spencer
if
Haywood would be on it.
it's a I don't know. Judging when the list came out, I guess it was pretty controversial. Obviously, they didn't say there was any rankings or anything like, oh, this guy's top one, this guy's top
Lucky
two.
them, lucky
I know,
them.
but like, I don't know. Like that list was kind of messed up some at
No,
some
Dwight was
points.
crazy. Honestly, like, and even Clay. Clay, I
No,
thought
Clay
Clay
was
deserved.
crazy. No, Clay was
I
crazy.
thought Clay
Second,
deserved a spot.
I think this guy is one of the best shooters of all time, four-time NBA champion, and this guy does not make it.
Yeah, and has
Oh,
iconic moments. Like people love him. Like he has everything going for him to be
bro, like
on this
third
list.
third quarter Clay, 60 point with what 9 dribbles Clay, like
Yeah, like
headband Clay. Oh
Game
my
Six
God,
Clay. Like this guy has done everything, and he doesn't make it. Like he
Does-
has the stats, he has the accolades, he has like
the fan
the
base.
fan base, he has the culture, like everything. Like he's such a prominent figure in the NBA, and he doesn't make it. Like it sucks.
Like if you were to show a picture of someone who's never watched the league of Clay Thompson, it's going to be one of two answers. It's going to be like, oh, that's Clay Thompson, or oh, that's Steph Curry's brother. Like it's going to be either one of those answers, and right away, people you can recognize him as one of the best shooters of all time.
Yeah, like people. I mean, obviously it's kind of messed up. Like this is our generation right now, so like obviously we'll say this, but like people are emulating Clay's game, like to this day. Like people want to be like Clay when they grow up playing basketball. Like they want to be in
Hmm.
that role. Like
Like
he
good,
has he has a
solid
big
3-and-D
impact,
defender,
right?
the most beautiful shot form I've ever seen. Like holy, everything's going for him. Just
Doesn't make
disrespectful.
it. It's tough.
Okay,
Yeah.
but at least he was a good sport about it actually, because when he didn't get it, I think the Warriors gave him number 77 because he wears number 11. He wears the number 77 warm up jersey, and I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, Clay, I think Clay is like people. I think over like the last 2 years, people have been kind of down on Clay, especially with the thing with like the 4 rings. Like, damn, Clay has a big ego, this and that. Like, nah, Clay. The last year, it seems like Clay is like it's changed that. People love Clay now. Like,
Yeah,
we've seen him. He's a lot more. He's like really humble. Like, I've heard he was talking about something on
on
Paul George's
Paul George's
podcast.
podcast, right? Yeah,
He's a good sport about it.
I
About
love.
yeah, he was
I
saying
love
that he was getting insecure. He was insecure in that moment. Like things happen. Like if you're heated, like you say things like I respect Clay for that. Like I don't know.
he understands, right?
Yeah, like he's humble. You know, that's like Jeff Teague. Uh,
Jeff
you know,
Teague is so funny, bro. Jeff Teague definitely not top 75 material, of course, but I think Jeff Teague is he should have his own podcast.
he's like top 200 probably.
Top 200, maybe. We'll
He's
see.
nasty. He's nasty.
By the time like top like NBA 125 rolls around, he'll make a list.
Yeah, imagine they have like imagine this like the world goes on for like 500 more years. Like the top 500 list, it's like just shit ass players on it, dude. It's like
Jeff
who would be
Teague
in the top? Yeah, like, no, Jeff Teague. He was actually good. Like imagine like I
in
don't know.
Atlanta, he was good. Like his first in Atlanta was good. Kind of.
Even in Indiana, he was good too. Like
I think he played really solid with Paul George that one year. He was with the Pacers,
like
but then like
2015, 16.
yeah, like but then when he went to like the Timberwolves and back to the
He was
Hawks, he
okay on
kind
the
of
Wolves. I always liked him. I think that's why. I think it's like his last few years were pretty bad, but like even Minnesota, like he started
he
some good.
wasn't even that bad. He was just a role player at that point.
I think it's just his defense was catching up to him because on offense, like he had a good floater game. Like he could set the floor, a good pick and roll guard.
Hmm.
He was still kind of athletic at that point. It's just on defense that he just kept getting cooked
Yeah.
over and over again.
Hey man, he's a champion. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I'm glad for that.
Yeah,
Milwaukee did
Milwaukee.
him right.
Yeah.
Milwaukee did him right.
You know who Milwaukee should have brought back though?
Who?
Boogie.
Boogie. Oh man, Boogie wouldn't
No,
want that role. He wants a starting role, man.
bro, but he was really solid with Milwaukee during that
Yeah,
like that brief stint.
even in
'Cause
Denver, like he was still solid too.
they actually did him dirty in both, but it's whatever.
Yeah, man, both teams are champions too, so
Yeah,
it
that
sucks.
just bro, he missed out on so many championships. What he had
The Warriors,
Warriors, Lakers,
Lakers, yeah, the
uh
Bucks,
the Bucks, the
Nuggets.
Nuggets. Damn, you
Holy
might as well just
shit!
join the Suns this year, like.
Join the Suns, leave midway, and then go on the
And
team
they,
that
they
loses. Pull the Verja, bro.
that what was it? Warriors the
Yeah, the
year they
Warriors, Cavs. It was like
and
2016.
Warriors.
They blew
Oh
a
my
3-1 lead. He
God,
was on the
yeah.
Warriors. He was on the
He
Cavs
was
when
on
he
the
went to the
Cavs first, and then
Warriors.
he went to the Warriors. Oh my God, that's unfortunate.
I don't think they even offered him the ring.
Why would they? He was on the ops.
That's true. But you know who deserved the ring? Valanciunas. He deserved the ring for the
Yeah, he
Raptors.
did. Lowry was even like, "Yo, what's your ring size?"
Yeah, right. And then Bobby Webster's like, hell no, man. That was
Nah,
so. I
bro.
actually got pissed. I was like, bro, Valanciunas has been here for like the hardest years, bro. Like, Ever since he's come in, he's been on the most fuckiest teams.
Okay, okay. Would if you were the team owner or the team manager, and you trade a bunch of like guys at the trade deadline to acquire players, and you
Yeah,
make that championship run, you win
yeah.
that ring. Are you giving a ring to every single guy you traded out?
Yes,
All
you're
right.
still on the team. You made the impact that
Yep.
first half of the
Okay.
season.
Good. Good.
That's why I got pissed when Valanciunas didn't get it because he was our starting center and he's been there for so much years.
Because there's also the argument that CJ Miles was like shit.
I
He
mean,
was shit at the start of
hey,
the
he
season.
was still value in the trade though. He was still value. He was
Or
still
for
salary that.
Marcus All, right?
Yeah, for Marcus Gasol. We got someone else in that trade, didn't we?
Delon, we know we
No, we
traded
traded
Delon
DeLon
right as
Wright.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, for Gasol. Yeah, so like there was still value. Like without that guy, that deal's not being done probably
Mm-hmm.
because of salary.
Yeah.
So he's still value to us.
Okay, I respect that then.
But I
Because
like
some
3J
people,
Miles, bro. 3J Miles was my boy, dude. That's my dogs, bro.
bro, it's a GoDaddy curse. I swear. Every time they
Oh
made an
man.
appearance on that
Oh, the
on that
GoDaddy
ad,
videos, dude.
it was
Yeah.
JV, then Patterson, and then CJ Miles,
Oh
like,
my
and then
God,
they
bro.
stopped altogether.
Patrick Parrott, yo, two Mats, two Pats. That podcast was goaded, dude. Do
That's
you remember
so
that
good.
podcast? Patrick
I remember
Patterson,
it.
Jeff
Yeah.
Armstrong. Oh my God.
And it stopped when he left Toronto, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got sad, bro. Like back then when I first started watching basketball, I was like, damn, like I hope these guys stay together forever. Patterson, Scola. I remember seeing those two guys. I was like, I wish
Yo,
they stay forever.
Scola
Damari
was actually
Carroll.
so fun.
Yeah, he had like one year with us, or like it's
Yeah,
like
what 2016, but like that was the year we made it far in the playoffs.
yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. That year was iconic for me, man. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I wish we stayed together forever. And then like
I
those
know,
guys
and
start
then
leaving. T
shit just
Ross
fell
gets
apart.
traded. Powell gets. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Nah, but at the end of the day, we won.
Yeah, we won. We won.
Now we're in the midst of another rebuild, I guess, retool. Hopefully
Ah
sooner
man,
rather
I
than
wish we
later.
traded for Scoot, man. That's all I gotta say.
Mm. OG, I would have done that in a heartbeat.
I would have done Siakam. I don't care. Like I want to
Yeah.
rebuild,
No,
but
no,
it's
you're
whatever.
right.
It's whatever.
Yeah, it's
See,
whatever.
here's the thing. I like Siakam though. Like I think he can be a number one option. He literally just didn't get the ball last year, and in the clutch, they just give
Because
it to
Van Vliet had
VanVleet.
it. Van Vliet had it
Yeah.
all the time.
Like honestly, when Scotty, okay, this is not like this is a Raptors Republic podcast at this
Okay,
point, but like
yeah.
When Scotty gets the ball in the clutch, he always makes the right read, and when Siakam gets the ball, he always gets a good shot. Like I don't know, like we probably could have won at least like 5, 6 more games if we just gave the ball to them.
We could have probably made the playoffs without having to lose to Chicago in the play-in, but
Yeah,
it is what it is.
but I like Siakam a lot. And I like Scotty a lot. Like his decision making in the clutch. Every game I watch, like if it's the clutch, they give Scotty the ball. Always makes the right read. Like
Always makes the right time.
I love Scotty in the clutch, bro. That's my dogs.
Yeah, and then we got Grady Dick this year, so I'm hoping we can
He's been
get
looking
something
good
good.
in the
Yeah,
rebound
I
measurements
know.
too. Yeah, he's
Let's
been
hope
looking
he's
good.
been. Is he going to be our starting one or starting two?
I swear he's gonna be like off the bench, like really deep
Yeah,
off the bench.
they always do that at the start of the year, like
Yeah, a
in
lot of
Toronto.
guys that I probably play over him, but like like if it certain stretches, give him minutes, like he deserves it. Probably. We'll
For
see in
sure,
practice. We'll see in
for
practice.
sure.
Coach knows all.
Yeah. Oh, another person I completely forgot. Kyrie Irving. I think he could have made 75.
Mm, mm.
But why? Mm-mm.
I'm not sure. Cause Kyrie, he has years at the top. He has a championship under him, but like his last 3 years, like or 4 years, like he's been good, but he just hasn't been on the floor. I think that like it means a lot. Like these are his prime years that he's not on the floor, and he is causing a lot of controversy. Like I think did James Harden make it? I don't think he made it either. Like I think that's the same reason
Harden did make it, right?
he did make it.
I swear he did.
I feel
Harden
like
made it.
well, I feel like now if they made the list, he wouldn't make it just because like I think controversy goes a long way with top 75. Like I think that's also the reason why Chris Webber might have not made it because of that
Mm,
whole thing with Michigan, with the whole
yeah.
scandal going on. Like
But
I
Karl
think that's
Malone
also
made
why
it.
Dwight didn't make it either. Like
Karl
he's
Malone
a
made it.
they kind of swept down under the rug. I don't know why. I
Oh,
think
okay.
in modern media it's different. Like Karl Malone back then, like that was like the '90s. You like I don't
That's
know.
not
It's
an excuse.
I'm just saying, man. That's just media, dude. I don't know what to tell you, bro. But I feel like that's why Dwight didn't make it either. Like, if you're a controversial figure, it gets tough. It gets tough. Maybe
Fine.
Malone wasn't a controversial figure back then. Maybe they swept that so well under the rug that it wasn't even a controversy. Whereas with Dwight, he's this controversial guy. It's not his fault. It just is what it is with media.
So you're saying because of Kyrie's controversial actions and his words,
He didn't make
that's the
it.
reason why he didn't make it.
I probably think so, honestly.
What about skill wise? Would he have made it?
Skill wise, I mean, I think he has the accolades. He has a championship. He was the second guy on that team that won the championship.
Rookie of the
He's been a
year,
number one guy for a lot of
second
times
best
in his
player on the
league.
team.
Yeah, like I think with skill was like he has an argument over Dame. I'd probably take him over Dame as
He
well.
has an argument over Dame.
Yeah, I say
Definitely
he has
has
an.
one.
I said he does have an argument over Dame.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
like
yeah.
I think he probably would have made it. It's just a controversy. And
Sometimes I
I
just,
can't really
yeah.
blame them for it. Like I could see where they're coming from. Like you put Kyrie on the team after the whole like, and that was in the midst of the whole controversy, like the anti-vax thing. Like that was in the midst of it. If you put him on the team, like it's a bad look for a lot of the media guys too. So
Hmm.
I can't blame them. It's still
I
a business
guess
at the end of the day. It's not just like a list for fun.
we're doing this for fun.
We're doing this for fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're doing
for
this for
sure.
fun. We
Yeah,
don't
put
really care.
Kyrie on the fucking team. I don't care, dude. Take out Giannis or some shit, dude.
Ayo, come on now. Jokic didn't make it, right?
I think Jokic had a case for sure.
Jokic is definitely on a case. He was a what? He was an MVP at that point. I think he was going to win his second one already by
Yeah,
then.
like that season he's gonna win the second one.
So
And
he
he's already
probably
had
should have made
yeah
it.
he's had playoff series where he just pops off number one guy for a long time.
He's the only good player on the team. Like he has a more of a case than Dame.
I like we're just shitting on Dame
Oh my
constantly.
God.
I like Dame, bro. Like Dame's cool, bro. But I mean, it's not his fault that he's on this list. Probably didn't deserve it over some of the other guys. But
I
like,
think when I saw the modern players come up and I see Damian Lillard, I'm like,
yeah, I was like,
interesting choice.
that was like probably like the last choice of the modern guys. I would put like, he's iconic for sure. But like, Dwight, even like Carmelo did not deserve it. Like
Melo did not deserve it.
Melo was just a good scorer. Like McGrady could have made it at that point.
Did Wade made it? Wade should have made it,
Okay,
right? He
Wade
did, right?
obviously made it. Like
He made it.
obviously
Okay.
Wade made it.
Did Bosch make it?
I don't know if Bosh made it.
Because Bosch was an integral part to that Miami, those Miami teams.
He was, but they don't respect their figures. Like
Oh, of course they don't.
they don't respect role players at all. Like great role players they don't. Like Dennis Johnson was probably my biggest snub. I thought Dennis Johnson should have made it. Probably the best defensive guard ever. Like he was like a 9-time all defense. Like he was
Hmm.
absolutely insane. So
And yeah,
he didn't make it.
they just
People say he was like Magic Johnson said he was probably the most underrated player ever. Larry Bird said he was his best teammate he played with. 3-time champion, 1-time Finals MVP. Like this guy probably deserved it. Like I actually really like Dennis Johnson. For him not to make it actually caught me off guard.
so what's the? I know we just said like criteria is different all across, but
Yeah,
like based off of what we've been seeing, what was the criteria now?
it
Like you
seems
got to
like
make all-star teams for sure,
All-Star teams for
all
sure.
NBA teams.
Probably yeah.
Championships seems like it doesn't even matter. Like you got Melo and Dame making it. Like
Yeah, like it's like I don't know what the media went for. Cause is it culture? Like is it the impact on the sport? Maybe it was impact on the
if it
sport.
was an
Cause
impact on the sport, Clay has so much of a bigger case than Dame.
yeah, but I don't know, man. Like it's tough. It's such a mismatched criteria, but you can have the same criteria for every player too. Like some players impacted the game in different ways, but I don't think Dame should have made it still. But like, maybe there was a case there. Like I can see a case where he's iconic. He drops 50 points. I don't care.
Hey man, maybe he proves us wrong this year. Like he's just gonna start off the season like
Yeah,
100 points a game.
start the season where, bro? He's gonna be pulling the Harden in Portland, dude. He's gonna like gain weight, be like, oh man.
Dame is not pulling a Harden. I will say
Only
that for
Harden
sure.
could do that. Only Harden
Yeah.
and Kyrie could do that.
No, Kyrie does it without like
Kyrie just says
intentionally doing.
it's his sister's birthday party, and then he just goes for 5 days. That's what he
He,
does.
he's gone. He's gone,
Harden
bro.
is blatant with it. Harden's like, oh, I'm tired or something. He just doesn't play good. He's like, oh, hamstring injury.
No, I think Dame will play through it. He's just not happy about it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he'll probably
Yeah.
play through it. Like he's not a fucked guy. He's a
Yeah,
normal guy.
he's a normal guy that wants to make the most out of what he's got left.
Yeah, he's never been. This is his first time around being controversial. Like he doesn't know how it goes. He doesn't know how to be toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Like
he
I'm never gonna play. I want to play for Miami. He's trying his best, bro. He's trying his
and
best.
and
But
then he gets fined and he's like,
you're
I'll play
right.
for any team.
I'm sorry. I'll come back. All right.
Right, this guy like pulled a 360 like
Yeah.
no, but I think all the guys we mentioned beforehand definitely deserve the spot over Dame.
Yeah.
And like now that you bring it up, Melo probably should not have made it either.
Probably Mel not. Put in Bernard
Mm.
King. Bernard King was a monster too.
I remember Bernard King in what NBA Live, like on the mobile devices.
NBA Live, dude.
Bro, I played NBA Live so
On the
much in
phone
grade
was crazy. I
on the
remember that.
phone.
Yeah,
I
I
played it
played
so
that
much in
too.
grade 9. Like, whole, I got Bernard King. I was like, yo, this guy's actually nasty
He's
for a
him,
guy.
dude.
He's him. I don't even. I was shooting fadeaway threes with him. That's crazy.
Wait, what? With Bernard King, dude?
With Bernard King, I was making them.
God damn, bro.
Yeah.
Nah,
He was just that guy.
he
I,
was
I
that
just
guy, dude.
I just had to include him on every lineup I had ever since.
Bernard King, like that's how you know him. He's like, oh, that guy, the guy from NBA Live. I remember that guy.
Yo, if he pulls up to like a like All-Star weekend, yo, this guy from NBA Live.
Are you Bernard King? Oh my god. I loved you back in NBA Live, bro. It's like, wait, what? I played for the Sacramento Kings, boy. It's like, no, you're the guy from
No,
NBA
no, no,
Live,
you're
bro.
the guy from NBA
I know
Live.
you, bro. I
You
know.
played for my Toronto
Yeah, you play for my
Raptors.
team, bro. He's like, oh,
Like,
I guess so. I
I,
guess so,
I,
man.
yo, you were the GOAT. You're
He's
better
like,
than
oh,
Michael
you were shooting
Jordan.
fadeaway threes. I remember that. He's like, what the hell are you
What?
talking about, man? He's like,
I
he's
never
like,
shot threes in my whole
he's
life.
like, I'm a
Like,
low post player. He's like, no, I remember you, bro. I remember it.
I remember you, bro. I remember you for sure. Like,
That's
yo,
actually so funny, dude. That's the new age, bro. That's the new age.
imagine in the future, like, let's say you became an athlete, like a professional athlete, and then some kid comes up to you, yo, are you the guy from NBA like 2K25? You're like, you
I
sure?
am. I guess I am
Yeah,
because I
I guess
actually
I
am,
am.
dude. I am that guy, bro. I was the one doing 360 dunks, bro. Like I remember
And
this year in my team, there's a Doug Christie card that it's probably the best, like one of the best cards in the game. This Doug Christie card, bro.
yeah.
People probably just know him from that at this point. Like, yo, you're the guy that shoots limitless threes, bro.
No, it's a
I swear
safety
to
for
God, bro.
Scalabrine, bro. People be like, yo,
Oh
you're the
yeah.
only 40 overall ever.
It's like, oh yeah. It's like, yeah, that's a shit thing to be remembered as, dude.
He's better.
That's
He's
probably, that's
better.
probably what goes on now, dude. Like
Yeah,
with these young guys.
that's tough. That's tough for real. Any other names you got?
I only had Bernard King. I had Dennis Johnson was probably my biggest snub, and then I had Chris Webber on the side.
Chris Webber, yeah, I think you talked about a little about him. Tony Parker. Uh,
Yeah,
Tony
he's in the
Parker
same
should.
mold as like Dennis Johnson for me. Like the guard on the great team that like did everything that the other guys probably wouldn't do. Like he did like they set the floor. They played hard defense. They're smart players.
Parker
Got
got
people in their
abused in
spots.
San Antonio. I don't know if you heard what Pop said,
Oh, and Pop, yeah,
but Pop
this
was like,
happens.
if he did what he did now to Parker, he would probably be like arrested or something.
Yeah, but I understand. Like, I feel like with like in sports teams, like yo, you need some people need tough love. Like you need
Oh,
that
for
you
sure.
need that beside you, bro. Like a coach that pushes you like that. Like no, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I swear, like even now, like it's just how you develop. You know, and it's just
Mhm.
that's just a player coach relationship.
I've never asked this question to you. Of the big three in San Antonio, who did you like the most?
Who would I like the most?
Yeah, because everyone had a different answer.
Honestly, I like Parker the most. I loved I like that's what because that's why I love Larry. That's why I like Dennis Johnson. I like Tyus Jones like in NBA today. I like these small guards that are just gritty. Like Brunson's the same way. They're gritty.
Hmm.
Like they play hard defense. They get in people's noses. They're just smart. Like they have a floater game. Like
Hmm.
they know to get to their spots, pick and roll. Like I don't know. I just love the young guard play style, man. That's why I like Tony Parker.
Uh,
And he was a
uh,
dog, man. He would attack the basket with
yeah,
force, bro. He was
bro,
crazy.
he would go up with these like tough ass layups.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah,
love that, dude. I love that.
I would go
So
with yeah Tim Duncan for me. I don't. I think being fundamental in it, like being the best at the basics, that's how you win, bro. Like,
yeah, dude.
bro, this guy made 19 straight playoffs, and he got 5 chips out of it. Like,
Unreal. That
you
is
can't,
unreal.
yeah, you cannot say any less of that.
And like for him being such like he didn't have to add anything to his game. Like his whole career has just been the same shots and no one
It's-
can stop it. It's like
well,
the
if
same
it ain't
things.
broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. Like he didn't have to do any all the flashy shit that other guys need to do. Like he just played simple, bro.
Hey, if they needed a three, he'll shoot the three, and he'll make the three.
Mm. But he didn't have to. You know what I'm
He didn't
saying?
have to because he had everyone. San Antonio was way ahead of like ahead of their time back then.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy to see. Like you have
So
two
crazy.
dynamic guys around your centerpiece. Like that was like Denver. I felt like this year. Like
Mm,
you
mm.
have Jokic, who's like the hub of the offense, and then you have like these dynamic players around him that just do all the things that Jokic can't do. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like cut and like alley oops and like take
play
fadeaway shots. Like,
defense.
even though Jokic is actually an underrated defender, like if he needs help, like Aaron Gordon's there on
Like
offense. Like yeah,
they
like
don't really hide Jokic. Like they do kind of hide Jokic, but he has Aaron Gordon to help him out in that area,
yeah,
right?
they don't hide Jokic. That's actually interesting. They don't hide Jokic. Like he defends the pick and roll. Like he low key like I don't know. I think he develops so well. Like
he's a good shot blocker. He's just not like good at like everything else, I think.
he has good hands. There is no verticality, and that's about it. Even against
Hmm.
AD, like he was getting cooked at some games, but like most games, like if he just knows how to get to the spot before AD, like he's good. You know, like he's strong enough to defend like the bully ball. So it's all about just getting to the spots and like being a smart defender at that point. Just no foul. That was it. That's why
Hmm.
I think that's why people were worried in that LA series. Like, oh, like Jokic might get fouled out, this and that. Like, no, he's a smart player. Like he won't let that happen to himself.
But is that your criteria for making him top one though? Like entering the
Who
season?
Jokic
Yeah.
being the best guy on a championship team, especially last year, and being the two-time MVP, being the hub of the offense, being a serviceable defender, playing 40 plus minutes a game, still being like efficient. Like, do you see his statistics last year for like not even
Like
just regular
P
season, even in the
like
playoffs? Like, he was shooting like over like 60% for some games. Like he had like 80% field goal games, and he's taking some tough shots. Like he did everything. I didn't see no flaws in his game. It was actually crazy to watch.
I guess you make a really like a really strong argument. I think to me though, it's just because Giannis just can just do anything. He can he's like Superman. I
Can he shoot threes
think
though? Oh, can he shoot threes? He can
he's
shoot threes.
getting better.
He actually got worse last year. His midi got worse last year too,
Mm.
and his free throw got worse last year.
Okay, but to be fair though, everyone else around him was like falling apart from injuries and like fatigue and stuff. He was the only one staying consistent, and
Yeah,
when you have to take more of those shots, your averages are going to go down.
of course, of course. But I just see next year. Like if I'm looking at next year, like I don't see a way Jokic can get worse. Like the way their offense flowed, and they're bringing back pretty much the exact same guys, except for like Bruce Brown. That team is just getting better. They're all still super young. Like Jokic, if he adds more to his, because you've seen Jokic, like he's still adding more to his game, and so is Giannis obviously. But like
Hmm.
Jokic is, he's shooting the ball better. He's finding his spots better. He's playing defense better. Like I think Jokic, they were like 1A 1B for me last year.
Yeah.
Like I had Giannis over Jokic last year, but I think Jokic this year after that playoffs, especially like against all the different looks that they had against like each different team that they played, it was like damn. Even against Bam, he would go crazy. Even against AD, he would go crazy. With Giannis, we see him. He struggles sometimes against certain players, certain like a build a player. Like even against Butler, like he would struggle if they're great enough to get to the ball, like keep hounding him. Jokic, no matter what they throw at him, he's just still the same player. So I just think Jokic going into next year, like after that playoffs, especially, like he's got to be the number one guy for me.
You make a very strong argument. I don't know what I can say against that, to be
No,
honest.
but I Giannis too. Like we're
I
obviously we're flowing into the top 10 right now, by the way. But like,
Yeah, we
yeah,
are, yeah.
Giannis is he's definitely like has a case for number one too.
No, because I'm thinking about like the I didn't take into consideration playoffs, right? So now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
Like obviously, Giannis was pretty much hurt
yeah,
after what game one of the playoffs, so he obviously couldn't showcase what he could do. And he didn't have Middleton with him. He didn't have a lot of guys actually like consistently
yeah,
playing the same minutes with him. But when he has done that, especially in against Phoenix that year, and when everyone around him is like playing at their best level, he is the best player in the world.
yeah. We've seen
Yeah,
it in that series against the Suns, like
yeah.
50 points in the finals. Like yeah, he definitely had like I think that's what they're one like they're 1A 1B for me. Like I have them I have tiers right. Like
Hmm.
I had Jokic, Giannis, and I had Curry as my third,
Yeah.
all in tier one, and their lowest they can go is tier one for me. Like I think they're all tier one guys. It's just is it I don't know. I just think like maybe I have recency bias too. You know what I'm saying? But I think Jokic after last season, like I can only see him getting better. Giannis obviously like he's the same guy. Of course he's getting a bit older. And if the shot comes back, then yeah he could have a case for the best guy. But I think just you know it's my little opinion. You
Yeah.
know, just have Jokic up there, bro.
I think it's also just because I've watched Giannis more, especially since we were in
Yeah.
the East, and I just really appreciated everything he would
You know
like.
what's funny?
Yeah.
Actually, like you were always a Milwaukee guy. For like the last 4 years, I've always said that Denver's making out out the West. I've
I
always said it. Like if
I think that was just our the two
yeah, I think
opposites.
maybe we just yeah. I just love Denver all the time. Maybe that's the thing, dude. Like
Maybe.
I'm a
Yeah.
Jokic guy, you're a Giannis guy.
Hey, at the end of the day, top one, top two players. We
Yeah,
won't disagree on that. I
interchangeable for sure. Yeah,
exactly. I think Giannis top one, Jokic has to be top two.
yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what it is. So we're both kind of on the same page.
But top three, I think we can both agree Steph Curry.
Yeah, like I kind of went back and forth, but like if I looked at the guys under him right now, it's like no, I think Curry
Nah.
like he deserves a spot. Like he's still the best point guard in the league right now.
He
Even
is
with
I think he's the best point guard of all time.
oh yeah, definitely a
Yeah.
case there. Yeah. I can't
because
make an opinion because I never watched Magic.
yeah, okay. So this is okay. I know this is going to be a little weird for people to say. Curry's not the greatest passer. You look at his assist numbers, like that goes to show. And then you have Magic averaging like double digits in there. But Curry generates just as much offense because of his gravity. And what's the point of the point guard? To get points for your team. Not just by scoring, by assisting or whatever, just generating as much offense as you can for your team to
Right.
win. And if you put Magic in that position to generate that much offense, if Magic can't get an open person, they're fucked. The Showtime Lakers are fucked because he can't shoot. But you put Curry in that exact same position, he doesn't need to pass it to someone. He just needs an open look, and he will get you that three.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the he's the greatest shooter of all time, and he's generating that much offense. He might as well be the best point guard of all time as well.
Yeah. Like I think that he probably like all things considered, he's probably the most skilled player of all time, in my opinion. Like
Probably.
just what everything that he's able to do on the court, like his endurance, like the skill level that he possesses
Bro,
with
this guy's
everything.
30, like 34, 35, and he's still out there like a 22 years old.
Yeah, he's training like he's trying to get into the league still. Like it's crazy to watch what Curry's been doing. Like that like Curry at this age, like people thought he was gonna fall off like 3 years ago, like when
No,
Durant left. Like no, he's
no,
like we've
he
seen
just
like
won another chip, bro.
yeah, like after that ship, like people realize like nah, Curry's here to stay. Like it's not about longevity, it's just about how long he wants to keep doing this. So
Exactly.
yeah, I think Curry's like definitely top three. Like especially from last year, like Jesus man, like it's almost like he's getting better. It feels crazy to say that.
Curry's game ages so nicely because it's not based off athleticism. It's based off of skill.
But the thing is that like people say that like oh he's not like an athletic player. Like bro, Curry is one
Oh
of the
no,
best
he
athletes in the
he
league. Like
is.
the
He's
amount of running
super well
around he has to
conditioned.
do, yeah,
Super
like
well conditioned, super well endurance.
even late games, like we've seen him get tired at times, but like the amount of running he does during a game, like the contact that he takes too,
He
like
has
people grab him, like shove him, like the screens that he takes, like people attack him on defense. Like he, like even though he's a good defender, actually, like in all things, like he's
Oh, he is
actually a good
not a
defender.
terrible defender. Everyone says that because of what he went through in his first few years in the league.
Yeah, like he's developed to be a guy that he's developed a lot of mass. Like he developed his body, so like he's strong now. Like he's not the scrawny guy he used to be.
He's
Like
not.
all things considered, like the things he has done in his career, like oh my god, bro. Like I that's where the argument for best point guard of all time is easily there.
He is the best point guard of all time. I don't care. We have to do a top 10 players of all time list soon.
Oh man, like I'd have to watch the old players clips then, because like I'm not well versed in the old players. That's why I don't really speak on them. But like
Yeah, yeah.
if I watch it, then no, he's like Curry. Like even like a few years ago, like I thought about it. Like I was like honestly, like, the things that Curry is like that Curry has done, like how is Curry not a top? Like he's easily a top 10 player of all time, especially
Yes.
now. Like he is like, but back then the argument wasn't really there for him. Like people like oh he's top 20. I thought even like in 2019 before he even won the 2020 chip
He already
or
was a
2021
top
chip,
10,
like
right?
I thought he already was top 10. Like what he's already done changes the game. Like the argument for AI, like or like he changed the whole game. Curry probably changed the game more than anyone
More
in,
he
in the
did.
whole world, like of all time. Like he changed the game more than anybody.
He changed the whole era of basketball. The
Yeah,
game went from mid ranges from like 20 2010 to 2014-ish to three-point focused, all in the span of what, 2 years?
yeah, and I think another guy that deserves a lot of credit. Like there's two guys. Reggie Miller is one of them. Like
Yeah,
he did take a lot of threes, but he took a lot of middies too. Ray Allen's the other guy that
Ray Allen.
I think the most underrated player in the league is probably Ray Allen. If you look at his stat line, like his stats during the whole year, like he was the number one guy in Milwaukee, in Seattle. Like he was dropping buckets, man. He was taking a lot of threes, moving threes, like coming off the screens. Like he's the one that kind of pioneered it. So for him not to change the game, like that just speaks to how Curry changed the game. Like if Ray Allen couldn't change the game back then, like Curry doing it takes a lot more than what Ray Allen did.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Big props to Curry. Like that's why he's top three. We're talking about this whole history, but like we're trying to make the argument for top three. Like he deserves it. Like it's solidified top three.
And the fact that he's only top three for entering this season is crazy, and that just goes to show how much skill goes into top two, like
Yeah,
Giannis and Jokic. So
how dominant they've been. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. But I have all the respect for Curry in the world. He's one of my favorite players of all time for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, my fourth one. I don't know if a lot of people agree on me on this, Kevin Durant.
I KD too.
You too? Okay,
I think
word.
it's pretty obvious too for me as well. Like, I think KD probably deserved the spot. Like I think Booker. Okay, I'm gonna speak on Booker soon,
Yeah.
but I think K. Even though he's second to Booker on this team, like he's still the number one guy. Like he's still the guy that you put all your pieces into. Like he's the guy that you game plan for. Like he's the scariest guy in the league offensively probably right now. Like other than like Curry, like if you're scared of someone to get a bucket, it's probably KD.
Uh,
Even on defense, he's still
he,
probably
he's okay on defense.
yeah he's fallen off a bit, but like if during a game like he's if he's locked in, he's still a top 10 guy like on ball. Like
Hmm.
the like the length that he
That
has,
that
the ground that he
wingspan.
covers, how smart he is. Because listen, like he's a guy that plays one on one nonstop. Like he knows how to defend the ball one on one,
Yeah.
and for him to still be this good, like this far into his career, like the amount of adapting that he's had to do last year, like because he got traded mid-season last year, so
Yeah. The first
yeah,
time in his career he's done that.
yeah, like he had to adapt to the new system. So I think next year going into it, like he's gonna be like prime KD again, like because he hasn't fallen off. That's the thing. Like even during OKC Golden State, like you would think that he's gonna fall off in Brooklyn a little bit. No, he's still the same guy. Like we seen that Milwaukee series where like his whole team was injured. He was still that guy.
And then he still carried them to game 7.
Yeah, and it was like one shoe size off
It was a
of
one shoe
making it.
size off.
Yeah. So you never know. Like I think KD is probably still a top five guy in the league. Maybe he could change. Like I thought, like maybe he could drop down a little bit, but for time being right now, like I think KD
He's the
is still
fourth.
that
He's,
guy.
he's number 4 for sure. I think people just disrespect him because of the move he made to the Warriors a few years ago.
Yeah.
And while yes, it wasn't the best move for his legacy, I guess, considering he could have stayed in OKC and him and Russ could have won something together. But he did what he had to do to solidify himself in history to make his case for one of the top players of all time. So I don't blame him for that. I just wish he had stayed in OKC. But at the end of the day, still one of the best players of all time, even though like years have gone by from his Achilles injury, and
Yeah,
just as
that he
dominant as
came back
ever,
from
man.
that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
impressive too.
that's super impressive. Like almost no one has come back from an Achilles and been just as dominant as he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
he's
yeah,
every top four. So my top five, I
who's
think
your,
it's a bit controversial because I
yeah.
think people might have had him off the top 10 as a whole. I had LeBron top five still.
LeBron doesn't make top 5; he makes top 6. I just think there's another player above him right now.
I have a sense of who that could be,
The best
but
international player of all time right
yeah,
now in
I
our
think it's
league.
Luca,
I think
right?
it's Luka Doncic.
You think
Yeah,
it's Luca top five? Yeah,
yeah. I think
I think
Luka.
LeBron just. I just think that the way he controls the whole game as a whole, even in the playoffs, he didn't shoot the ball that well this year especially, but next year I think LeBron's coming back, especially with AD probably fully healthy. Like he's with the same guys for like once in LA.
Hmm.
Like the guys are coming back.
Like
Rudy's
not that
coming back.
much change this time around,
Yeah,
right?
it seems like he's able to adapt to these guys. LeBron was still one of the best players in the league last year. He
Oh,
averaged
for
30 points per
sure.
game, and I just think for me, I factor playoffs a lot, which is crazy that Butler didn't make it. But like, I think the way LeBron controls the game, and if he shoots the ball even just a little bit better, they're probably winning one or two more games
Hmm.
in Denver. So with him being that guy, like a number one guy, going against the champions, still putting up kind of a fight, him playing like shit, and they're still winning. Like if he just plays a little bit better, they're probably like making it more competitive. So I think
Oh,
LeBron
def.
probably still makes top five for me. Still really efficient at the rim, gets to his spots, knows how to control an offense, smart player. Like I can't doubt LeBron.
My argument, my only, because I have LeBron in top 6, and I'm not a hater. I'm not a LeBron hater as much as like some people might say. I just think the reason why I don't put him top 5 is because he still has Anthony Davis. And if you have two of the top 15 players on this list, like I can't put one of you guys. I can't put one of you in top 5 in my opinion because both of you are contributing just as much as if not the equal amount, right?
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
So, but on the other hand, you have Dallas who has two superstars, I would say, but one of them is we don't know if they're available half the time, and the other one is doing what he can because he wants to win and he wants to show the world that the EuroLeague is more competitive than the NBA. So I think what Luka's been doing ever since he came into the league and what he's still been able to maintain now, even though they didn't make the playoffs last year, and part of it has to do because of the thinning roster.
Mm-hmm.
They traded away Dorian Finney-Smith. They traded away Who else did he trade away? Like he was the big one. DFS was the big one to
Yeah,
me.
he was probably the biggest one.
Yeah,
Brunson's not on the team anymore,
yeah.
and
Dinwiddie was a serviceable second option for
especially in yeah, and he was good in Dallas.
in
Like
Dallas. Yeah,
so,
but I think adjustments had to be made, and they didn't get it on time to make the playoffs. But at the end of the day, he was still putting up monster stat lines. He was
yeah,
still doing what he could do, and he had Kyrie, while who was also like a little controversial at the time, a little iffy with his play style about his chemistry with Luca. I think he still did what he could, and Luca every year he's in the MVP conversation. I don't see
yeah,
why someone who makes the MVP conversation each year to not be in the top five.
yeah. Maybe I don't know why I'm so down Luca. Like he's done everything that I need a player to do. Like in the playoffs, he gets better. He can control offense. Maybe it's the defense. I'm not sure what it is with Luca that I don't know. I would rather have LeBron, and I have one more player over him too, which is crazy.
So
I have Devin
Lucas
Booker.
to Devin Booker,
I
wow.
have Lucas. Honestly, I was trying to make the argument for Devin Booker like over KD. I maybe his recency bias too, but for the last 3 years, I think Booker has
Devin Booker's been really good.
he's
So,
done everything that he needs to do to convince me that he's like a top five player in the league. Even though I have him at 6 right now, I could easily put him at like 5 or even 4 over KD, because Booker in the playoffs he gets better. He control offense. He plays off ball. He's a really good defender. Like he's smart. He can play a lot of minutes. Doesn't foul too often. Like he does everything I need a number one guy to do on a team to win. And he has a good mentality. Takes care of himself. Doesn't get into controversy. Like he's just a really solid player. And next year, like he's probably only gonna get better. He's still pretty young for like a star player. He's like 27 ish,
27 or
28.
28? Yeah.
So I mean, this guy is gonna be in his prime for at least the next 2 years. And if he's on a team with Phoenix, like yeah, he's with KD, but even without KD, like he was still that guy with Chris Paul. He was the number one guy, made it to the
Hmm.
finals. Probably could have won the finals, like if like Giannis doesn't go ballistic. So if all that considered, like he's probably like man, I might put him
Mm.
over LeBron right now. I might put him top five. I'll have Booker at 5 and LeBron at 6 and Doncic at 7,
So
which is
you
crazy to
might even
think.
switch it up.
Yeah, I've Booker. I'm super high on Booker. Like I think
Like,
he's that guy.
yeah, I really try to avoid putting two of the teammates in the same list.
Mm,
I really try to avoid that because I think there's so much talent in the league now.
right.
Yeah. So the next guy that came after, so I had what? I had
LeBron
Giannis,
6.
Jokic,
Yeah.
Curry, KD, Luca, LeBron, and we talked about LeBron already.
Mhm.
My number seven goes to Tatum.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if Milwaukee's not making out of the finals, out of the East, it's Boston. And
Mm,
when you think of Boston, you think of their best player. And as much as I keep hyping up Jaylen Brown on this podcast, as much as I love him, I cannot deny that Jason Tatum is the face that I see. Jason Tatum is the guy you usually want to go to for like the big moments. And he's done his part. He's definitely done his part in the last year for playoffs as well. And every time I think of Jason Tatum, I just think of offensive output and decent defense. And he's led this team to like a top one, top two, even like top three sometimes. But these it's very important for Boston to have him. If they don't have him, the team falls apart.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Like he's
So
her whole offense. It feels like even with Brown, like, listen, Brown he had a tough playoffs. I still think he's like a top 20 guy in the league.
yeah, he is.
But like this is it really is Tatum's team. Like even though I've always argued for like a 1A 1B, like I always thought Brown like might have even been better than Tatum. And maybe it could be the case where they're both like 1A 1B, but this is really just Tatum's team. Like if Tatum's not there, like that team is not making the conference finals. Like it's just a different kind of thing. I had Tatum behind like whoever I just named. Like he was next on my list. I had him at 8, and yeah, like, you seen last season he made All NBA first team. Like there's a reason he did. He was the
Mhm.
best guy in the Celtics. They almost came out the East.
Yeah.
So like yeah, I think they definitely deserve he deserves a spot at 8. Like he could even rise. Like he has the ability to rise to like a top 5 player. Like he's also been in that conversation with Luka of like who's next up, who's face of the league. So it makes sense to have him top 10. Like he just has
Hmm.
to be there.
Yeah. And like I said, I love Jaylen Brown. No disrespect to him. Just I think Tatum, if he's not there, the team is not a top two seed in the East. It becomes like top four or top five.
Because Brown's
That's
still
just
good. Brown's good.
that's just the facts, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But if
Yeah.
Brown's not on the team, like low
No,
key,
if
it's the
Brown's
same
not
thing
on the
though.
team, it kind of goes down to like the top, I say, 4 seed. Because Tatum does still does a lot of the heavy lifting,
Yeah, he does.
especially now they have KP. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it'll hurt that much
Mhm.
if one of them gets injured,
Right.
but I think it'll hurt more if Tatum's out there.
Yeah. So at 9, this is probably like I really didn't want to do it. Like I really did not want to put him here, but I'd Embiid at 9.
I had him
Even
beat
though
at
I
eight
consider playoffs, yeah,
because yeah,
I consider playoffs a lot. Like Embiid has constantly struggled in the playoffs, but just in the regular season and even like some stretches in the playoffs, like he is the number one guy in the league at some points. Like he drops monster games. He controls
40
the
point
pace.
games, like 30,
Yeah,
40 point games, like it's
it's just like
crazy.
the mentality is the only thing that holds him back. I feel like because on any given night he can literally control the game. He can literally be
His
like,
size, his skill, like everything he does, he's able to dominate and be the best player on the court for a night.
mm-hmm.
But it's just some type of mental block, I think, that keeps him from achieving those results. And I think part of it is also his teammates. Like who's the most recent superstar teammate?
Like Harden struggle with him. Like I don't know, it's tough because I think his supporting cast is actually good. Like
Oh,
Harris and
Tyrese
Maxey, like
Maxey,
just
Tobias
two of those guys
Harris.
alone, like
That's a playoff
that's all you
team.
need. Yeah,
That's
that's
a
all you
playoff
need.
team right there.
Harris has literally like, people don't give him the credit. Like Harris has literally transformed his game. Like back in Orlando, even the Clippers, he was the number one guy. Like all he's there to do is drop points. Like just be a scorer. In Philadelphia, he's had to adapt so much, and now he's at a point where he's like how I play in 2K. Like in the rec, like I'm like I play defense. Like I do everything like except like I don't know. Like I space the floor, I score. Like he's asked to do all these things that he's never been asked to do before. Like defend the best players. Like he's always has to defend their best wing player. Because
Yeah.
who else is defending those guys? It's not Harden. Max is not doing it, and like whoever's the other guys, shit too. Like
PJ Tucker, and
PJ
he's
Tucker,
old.
he's
He's
like
old.
he's old man. Like it's really it. Like Harris has been doing all the heavy lifting on defense and on offense. He's asked to like being like the third guy, like shoot wide open threes. Even though he struggled with that at times, like he still has the game to beat. Like he can shoot mid-range jumpers. Like that was
Yeah.
still a play style. Like I like him a lot.
When Harris signed that max deal back in 2019, everyone, including me, trashed the contract.
Yeah.
But no one went to appreciate Harris's skill set. And it was only until I wouldn't say this year I really started to appreciate what he could do.
Oh yeah, no.
And
For me, it was like every
yeah,
year. I like the last 4 or 5 because I watched Philly a lot, especially with Ben Simmons on the team. Like
yeah,
I watched him a lot. Like I always was like, God damn man, Harris always gets to his spot, always does what he has to do, but just misses the shot. Like it's such a good look. He does everything he has to do, just the shots don't go in.
damn, that just sounds like me now. Like I get to my spots, I just don't make it.
Yeah, but he's like wide open shots. Like he does everything right, just unlucky. That's what I feel like with him.
No,
Like
also it's also just every time you see Tobias Harris, like you just think of wow, that's what $33 million a year missing
yeah,
shots.
that's true.
Okay, if this was, let's say, if Harris was a 16 or $17 million, like PJ Washington, you would not care that much. You would
You'd
be like,
praise him.
yeah, you would be like, wow, this guy's doing a good job keeping up with the defenders, keeping up with staying like really good on offense, being that nice second option when Harden's not playing. Like, what the hell? How is he not being paid more? But
Yeah.
everyone just looks at the money, man.
Yeah, it's true, and that's why he gets all the hate, especially with the whole thing with Butler too. Like Tobias Harris over me, that really killed him too. Like with Butler being
Yeah,
like,
it did.
y'all paid him over me. Like now people are like, yeah, Butler's better than Harris, and Harris is just the fact that Harris doesn't even talk shit. Like he literally just
No,
plays
that
basketball, bro. Like he's
bro,
just getting
the
shit on,
only
bro.
he only plays basketball and spends time with Boban Marjanovic.
Yeah,
Like that's
it's
all
not
he
like
does.
he's not like he's like oh like fuck you guys like oh like I earned this money. Like he's literally like man like everyone's shitting on me just because like I get paid this money even though I do all these other things that aren't getting appreciated. I love Harris, bro. Like
No,
out of all
honestly, he's such a
yeah
good guy.
like these 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" wings that like have to carry the load on defense. Like I have a lot of respect for these guys, man. I actually do, and that's why I think here like I don't know. Are we talking about Embiid or Harris here? Like, is Harris making the case for top 10 or what's going on, dude?
I feel like he might be he
Holy
might be
shit, we're
Harris.
talking this guy up right now. It's Embiid,
Bro,
bro.
this is a podcast where we trash Dame, where
Yeah,
we
we
hype
trash
up
it.
Tobias Harris. Like,
It is what it is, man. That's just how it goes. But
but
yeah,
yeah,
Embiid
Embiid.
like he won MVP last year. Like probably deserves a top 10 spot. Like MVP can't fall out of the top 10 over one playoff series.
Mm. Yeah, he's number what, number 8 for me, I think.
Yeah,
Because
he's
yeah,
gonna be
Jason
number
Tatum
8.
was number 7, so yeah, NBA is gonna be
Who
number
did you
8.
not have in the top 10? You didn't say Booker yet, right?
No, I did not say Booker. I
Okay.
don't have Booker in top 10.
Giat.
It's just because I'm trying to
Oh
each. It's
yeah, yeah. You have top
yeah,
2. Yeah. You know it's funny because you say that like you don't want two guys from one team. I have Anthony Davis at 10.
a 10. Okay, yeah, for
And LeBron,
with
AD, and
LeBron,
KD,
yeah.
Booker. Yeah, but AD is still like he was a top 3 guy when healthy. Like when he's healthy, even though he was healthy last year, like he like coming in the next season, like I expect him to be that guy again. Like the back in
Hmm.
2020, like because I don't know, it seemed like at points of the season he was just out of it. Like he would just stop playing. Like he wouldn't demand the ball. Like there are times he would shoot less than like 12 times a game.
Yeah.
Like I think he's going to next season. I'd hope that he's going to be that guy again, average like 26 and 12, be like the defensive monster that he is. And in the playoffs, when time comes, because you're expecting them to make the playoffs, especially with Reeves on the team, like he's going to be a monster. And I don't think I could have a list without him in the top 10.
Davis always misses out top 10 for me simply because of health.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the
I put
only.
Phil healthy here.
That's always my concern with him because if you ever draft him in fantasy, because I did, I think in 2020, I was like, yo, this guy's carrying me. 2 weeks in, he gets injured. I miss him for the next 3 weeks, so I'm like, I am dying out here.
But the thing is, he comes back and he's still that guy.
Yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah,
So
and if
like,
yeah,
he's
I would take him, but to me, I like being available. I like being able to use a guy to rely on him.
whoa,
Oh,
boss,
oh, okay,
Ryan.
okay, okay,
You're gonna use him? Come
okay.
on, man.
Rely,
All right, all right, all right.
rely. So number 9 for me goes to SGA.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
That
SGA.
okay.
I think he's a top 10 player. He's a top 9 player right now. He takes number 9. First team All NBA last year. Pretty much, he was the biggest factor to carrying OKC to the what play-in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were years from making the playoffs ever since CP left, and this guy doesn't in the next what 3 years,
Hmm.
and they're only going to get better. Josh Giddey's still there. Chet Holmgren's coming back. Both Williams are there right now.
Jay Williams is like
Yeah,
insane. Like he's like
Lou
next level.
Dort is there. I just like Lou Dort. I don't know.
Mm.
Sorry. And it's just an all-around solid culture there in OKC. And they can't do it without SGA's leadership and his offensive capabilities. And he's not that bad on defense either. He's
He's
a
actually
big
a
guard.
good defender. Like he's
He's
actually
a
good.
he's a
Yeah.
big guard, bro. And he can cover so much area between players. I don't see why people don't think he. Well, I don't see why people only think he's offense. Like he is your 30 point per game scorer, and your what? He can average 2 to 3 steals a game, not blocks.
Yeah, he can go
Like,
out and guard the best perimeter guy on your team.
yeah,
Even though he doesn't have to because you have Jay Williams and Lou
yeah.
Dort, but
But
he's
like if
capable
he
of
if
doing
he
that.
gets a switch, he will get the stop.
Yeah.
And what? Didn't he just crush France yesterday in World Cup?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, enough said. This guy is top 10 of all time. Not all time, like of the season.
Mm.
Yeah, SGA for me.
Yeah. I see. Thing. So we didn't get your 10 yet, but for me, I had SGA at like around like 12 because I was struggling with Butler. Like, because Butler has shown in the past, like the last 5 years, he has been that guy. Like he's made to the finals 2 times. He's carried those teams to the finals, and he's been like he's also like a two-way player that I don't know why I don't have him top 10. Like I'm looking at the
Hmm.
guys ahead of him. It's like am I gonna put him over like Embiid, Anthony Davis, Tatum? Like probably not. But he's still in that echelon. Like I think if it was a top 11 list, I'd be happy with the list. But
Hmm.
I think Butler like I have an argument for Shea. Like Shea, everything you said, like I completely agree with. Like he is the number one guy on a team that he's pretty much carrying at this point. But Butler also has been doing that, but they made it to the finals. And maybe it's just a roster construction. Is it a team sport? But I think Butler just in itself, like the mentality, like the healthiness that he has, even though he doesn't play much in the regular season, in the playoffs he plays every game. Even though he's
Yeah.
injured, he doesn't care, and he has that like the competitive spirit in him to like not let like small shit like get to his head. Like he never falters. Like he just same shots. Like
Hmm.
knows his game. Like I don't know. He probably deserves top 10, but I don't know what's stopping me from putting him there.
I think it's the fact that he's been underrated pretty much his whole life.
Yeah.
And every time, I don't know. he's obviously skilled. We've seen it before, and he's obviously a leader. We've also seen that
Yeah.
before. But I can't describe it. There's something about Butler that makes me hesitate to put him in top 10.
Mm.
And I would, even though he's probably not playing my number at least the start of the season, I think Damian Lillard still makes top 10 for me simply because
Ooh, with Dame. Wow.
Dame had his best season last year.
Oh, I don't know if he had his best season last year.
One of his best seasons
One
last
of
year.
his, yeah, he's always had good years. Top 75 player of all time, obviously.
Yeah, top, definitely.
That's why.
But I still think that even though amid this whole get me out of Portland situation, he's still a top 10 player. Like, I know they didn't make the playoffs. I know they were kind of trashed, I guess. But Damian Lillard still puts up good stat lines. He still is the highlight guy to watch in Portland. Like, you're not going there to watch, I don't know, Yusuf Nurkic. You're
I
there to
am.
see.
I am.
Oh,
Because he's on
you
my
are.
fantasy team every year.
Yeah,
So I am
you
watching
are.
Nurkic, yeah.
But you're there to watch Dame to play to watch him play. And when I think of Portland, it's synonymous with Lillard. So
Yeah.
I think Damian Lillard is the top number 10 for me. But
No, I
I,
think we're probably like, okay, I was just say, like, that's actually so funny that you said that you're going to watch, you're going to watch Dame, because I literally watched Portland to watch Nurkic. But their team is constantly, like, the thing for me with Dame is, like, their team is just constantly struggling with even with him on the floor. Like, their roster around him is never bad. Like, they've had Larry Nance in the past. They've had guys. They have
Norman Powell.
Nurkic. They have Powell. They have Covington. They have Jeremy Grant. Like, and them being like a bottom five seed is still crazy to me. Even with Dame having all his offense, like it just seems like whatever he does is not enough. Even though he's a great player, like, and for next season, like I see the argument for Dame. Like I do see Dame as like a top 10 caliber player, but he's probably getting traded. And when he goes to another team, it's kind of difficult to see him being the
Uh,
exact same player. Like he's gonna have to drop
Definitely,
down
yeah.
probably a little bit, especially if he goes to like Miami. So
I mean,
next
is
season,
he going to
top
be?
15 probably.
Is he not going to be the number one option in Miami?
I think it's like a one. I think it's like Booker and Durant. It's like that kind of thing, or like
With
Kyrie and KD, where they're both like number one options pretty much. Like they're sharing the offensive load.
I
Because I
guess
still respect Booker's off, like, not Butler's
Butler.
offense. Like I think Butler's offense is like on a possession to possession basis. It's a lot more easy to like just force Butler's play style, like driving, kicking. Like Dame, I could see him settle into like a more of like a off ball kind of role, like a
Mm.
shooting guard, like in a way. Like he can still demand the ball. Like he's gonna have his shots,
Oh,
obviously,
he
but
will.
like
Yeah.
he can definitely settle into a less of a role. Whereas Butler, like he's still the top dog, and like I still would rather have Butler like run the possessions because he's been defense with them twice.
Hmm. Yeah, you make a fair point. I think Butler is not top 10 right now for me. He will always be top 15 at least entering the season. I think you just can't write him off at all.
Yeah,
He's been to
he's
the
top 11 for me. Like
top
he's
11.
like,
Okay.
if any of these guys in the top 10 fall off, like he's coming in.
Butler moves up.
Yeah,
Butler, the only I think one thing that never works out for him is his lack of playing during the regular season.
yeah,
Like obviously he did
fair.
that during his younger days, right, with Minnesota and with Chicago. But ever since then, he's kind of taken a step back. He doesn't take the regular season too
I
seriously,
think
and
he's
he
actually had a really good regular season last year. I think
well,
the whole team around him was just shit. Like no one could shoot.
games played though, like he doesn't take it that seriously.
In
Like
the past,
he'd rather rest than play, preserve his
I mean
body, load manage.
that was the playoffs. He played
Yeah,
64 games last season.
not enough to make it to All NBA
Ah, I
team.
just missed my one. But
Yeah,
like
miss just my
other guys play way less than that. Like he always plays around 60 games every year,
yeah,
which like
yeah.
in today's NBA is like that's okay. Like you take,
I guess that's the gold standard now.
I guess
Like
that's the standard. 60 is the
I
standard.
fucking hate that, but
But yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
I'd
But
rather you play 70. Like 70 is my cutoff.
yeah,
Like obviously they're going to be like, oh, 65 games, you're eligible for awards now. But to me, like if you're serious about it, 70 or 75. Like that's how much I'd rather go.
I'm actually looking at stats right now, and I think he had a really underrated season. He shot 53% from the field last
53.
season. On
Did he have a 50? Did he have 50 40 90 or no?
no, he shot like
No.
35% from three. He
Never
barely shot
mind.
threes, but like he probably had his best season last year, like over his last like 3 years. So I don't know. I think Butler definitely is in the conversation. I don't know what's holding me back. I really don't know. Like I probably should have put him over Embiid. Maybe just the pedigree of being an MVP because I think Butler's better than Embiid, in my opinion.
Mm.
But going to next season,
I think
like
that's a pretty hot take.
You think so? I think when they're on the same team together, like Butler was the guy. Like in 2019, like Butler, it was lit. I think that their best players went like this. I think it went Butler, Redick, Embiid. I'm being serious. Like I think that was their that was how they were playing. Like it was Butler, Redick, Embiid, and then like
Yeah,
Simmons.
Reddick kind of ran around, shot the three, made
That
it.
series or that whole playoffs, like Redick was it was like Embiid, Redick 1-2, but like
You know,
Redick
that's
was the focal
crazy.
point.
Reddick was so solid in Philly,
He
and
was
then
like
they kind
yeah.
of just forgot about him after New Orleans, which I guess age caught up, but
Yeah,
still, this
his
guy
defense was
was.
shit, but like man, like he was a torch. Like it was unreal to watch him. Like he literally was like Steph Curry. Like I couldn't believe my eyes. It was like Butler, Redick, and Embiid was their top three. I couldn't believe it, but that's what it was. I think
No,
Butler's
and
better than Embiid. Yeah,
Reddick is one of those guys. Obviously, he's retired now, and would still like he could definitely benefit a team if he still played for them.
I think Crawford
But
probably does more because Crawford. I don't know why he's on the team. Like if there are
I,
players that are shit on defense that are on in the league, how is Crawford not in the league?
mm,
But yeah, the rest beside the point.
a lot of people would just come up to and say age, but
He dropped 50 in his last game.
I know, I know. I don't know. Are there any guys that you think will potentially move up?
Yeah, I had some snubs or in considerations for me, and I other than like Butler, Shea, and Dame that they're probably like
Yeah,
caliber. That's their caliber. I had four guys that like if they play the full season, like if they just play normally, then well, Kawhi and PG are like obviously two that PG maybe not as much, but Kawhi is obviously one that you would like say he's top 10 caliber. Like last season in the playoffs, he was that caliber player. Like
yeah.
he was putting up numbers. Like he was the same guy, but it's just health thing. He
The
doesn't
injury,
play more than
yeah.
like 40 games. So
It's same. It's the same issue with me for AD and Kawhi. They fall into the same boat to me. It's
well,
like
AD
hell.
actually. I mean, AD has been
Okay,
healthy.
AD has been way better the last few
It's been like
seasons.
2 years where he's been pretty bad, but like after like 2020 like isn't bad, but like last year like, it's been okay. Like 23 is
It's been better. It can definitely be better this season, but we'll
yeah.
see if
I
Kawhi
but I agree
actually.
with you being like hesitant on it. Like he has been injured a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think PG could even fall into that category, but he's been way more consistent in terms of like availability than either player.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
but I think I just really like PG as well. I know I trashed like not. I guess I did trash him during the bubble. Like I think a lot of people did as well. And
I
but
didn't. I
I
love PG. That's my dogs. He's my first favorite player. You know, all right. Like I first watched
PG,
basketball. Like
I
that was the
wouldn't be
guy.
surprised. I actually liked watching PG in on the Pacers because
Mm,
I love the Pacers,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Right. You're a Pacers
yeah,
guy, dude. The
I
only
was a
one in
Pac-
the world. So yeah.
yeah. So like when I was like, yeah, Paul George, let's go. But yeah, I still watch his games. I listen to his podcast all the time. He's a great guy, you know. And yeah, I would definitely put PG maybe top 15, top 16
Yeah.
ish.
Like, I don't think he's top 10 anymore. But like yeah, he
Back
probably
in
is. Yeah.
Indiana, no OKC in Indiana, he definitely was a top
OKC he
10
was like
player.
top 10, but like now probably not. Like
Even in
it's
Indiana, he was
Kawhi.
a top 10 player in Indiana as well.
Was he? I don't know who the ones were,
Yeah,
but I forget. Like I forget who the top guys were, because like
well, like
at that
all
point you
the,
probably have Lamarcus Aldridge over him, and then you
but you're
got
also thinking about like the older guys too. Like I'm not going to put Paul Pierce over him, but he's way better than Paul Pierce at that point.
like at that point that was like Wade's first year of really falling off. I feel like.
Yeah, like he's already proving he's better than like LeBron was obviously number one.
Well, we gotta make a top 10 of that. Like I don't know who the top 10 would be.
Like 2000 like 2010s
See, I watched
top.
that. I wasn't watching all that much in early
Okay,
2010,
okay,
so I can't really
fair.
do that. But like I don't know, maybe he was top 10. He was coming into it like 2017. By the time it's 2017, he was top 10.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I guess you're right.
maybe yeah. But yeah, I think Paul George is definitely someone in the top 15 right now.
Yeah, like yeah, top 15 guy. Like he was that last year. He was when he
Oh yeah, for
before he
sure.
hyperextended his knee. He was playing a lot.
hmm
He was that guy. Like it was like damn, like he's really carrying this offense.
hmm
But other than those guys, I have two guys that are like in considerations of like actually being like jumping into it is John Moran and Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards for sure.
John Moran.
His comments are so funny.
Oh my god, there's a video I saw yesterday. It was so funny. It was like they're playing the Philippines. I think it was 2 days ago, and like as they're walking through the tunnel, it's like him and then and Reeves behind him.
hmm
Some fans like, Austin, you're him, in like a Filipino accent, and then Edwards turns around, and is like, Austin, you're him. Austin, you're him. It's so funny, bro. Edwards is probably the funniest guy in the league, bro. Like he's the
Probably
next
is.
marketable personality. Like he's gonna be he's that guy, and he has the game to follow it too. Like
He, bro,
if he
he
develops,
was a
yeah,
movie star, bro. He was a
he
Kermit Wilt.
facts, dude. Yeah, so I think Edwards he can jump into like the second tier of
Oh,
like
for sure.
top like 10 to like 6. He could jump in that tier easily next year, like if he just develops the right way. And John Moran I think has a better chance than Edwards. Like obviously Ja is like super controversial,
Everything right
but
now,
like
but
his game is like
oh, it's so
he's a number
skilled.
one option on the second seed team. He plays a lot of minutes. He does get injured here and there, but like that, I think those are just like little ankle injuries. Like it's not nothing crazy like a knee injury. And he obviously like he's getting better shooting the ball. Driving to the
Oh,
rim, he's a
and
scary
his
guy.
and he has so much like defense around him to like help hide that too now. Like he can just focus on what he's good at.
Yeah, and he's
Like
not.
They brought in Marcus Smart,
They have Bane,
Jaren
who's
Jackson
good.
Jr. still there, Desmond Payne.
They have
Dylan Brooks is
Scary
obviously isn't there
Williams.
anymore, but
Yeah,
still,
like yeah, they have like they have the guys to like cover up for some of the weaknesses that he has. But like on offense, we've seen them in the playing game versus the Warriors a few years back. Like he was going head to head with Steph Curry,
and
and
he
John
would,
Moran is efficient offense. Like he was shooting pretty well from the floor, like and some tough shots
and
too.
they won that play in.
And yeah, they did win the plan. Yeah,
Yeah,
and so I think John Moran like when he comes back from this
just
suspension, like
mentioned.
he could have a case for a top 10 like easily. Like, I was always high on Moran. I don't know why people aren't as high on him. Like he has shown everything to be that guy
Hmm.
ever since he's come into the league. And if he's only like what 24 right now or something like that, like he's only gonna get better, especially for the next 2 3 years.
Hmm.
So I think he should make it. He's gonna make it there someday. I think so will Edwards, but next season like it's probably a bit too early for them.
For sure. A few more minutes left, but I just want to mention my no in no particular order, like people I think could definitely move up. Like obviously
Yeah,
I have Anthony Davis. Like I was not going to discount that guy. I think Anthony Davis is such a talented guy, just always injured.
yeah,
Same goes for Kawhi, right? I'm not going to discount the guy who won us the chip
yeah.
in 2019. Paul George is there as well. And then I don't know if you'll be surprised by this, but I think Tyrese Halliburton makes a good case.
I seen people say that he can make that leap.
I think Tyrese Halliburton, he already made that leap when he went to Indiana. Who says he can't make an even bigger one this year?
Yeah, I agree. I think especially during the start of the season when it was like Utah was popping off, so was Indiana. And like
Yeah.
before a lot of the guys went down with injuries on their team and they kind of just started tanking, they were looking pretty scary. And Halliburton's offense is he was averaging like
And
27 and 12. Like he was playing really well.
there was also one point where I think it's before he got injured. He had no turnovers, just assists.
Mm.
Yeah. And that just goes to show how good his court vision, how smart the guy is.
I'll always be a Halliburton guy just because of this.
Yeah.
Like I had this card for a while now. Look at this. It's a autographed
Yeah.
jersey Halliburton a rookie card, bro. Hey, I need him to be good, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm on that, dude. If he's top 10, then I'm happy as shit, dude. So yeah,
You know,
I definitely agree with
Halliburton
that.
is one of my favorite players right now in the league.
Oh yeah, he's super fun to watch.
He's so fun to watch. And the team around him, although it's getting somewhere. It's
It
Indiana's
is.
going to be a force within 2 years.
Like I wish their guys were just like I wish Turner would just go back in time because like him and Turner would be a nasty like
Mm.
point guard center combo. Like that's like the most modern point guard center combo you could dream of.
For sure.
So if they, I mean, hopefully, I don't know. In my dream, like I want them to like sign like a superstar player or like trade for one because they could low key make that jump right now. Like
Hmm.
with Turner and Hopper, you just need a star wing and you're good. You put Kawhi on the team, like they're probably making like a run in the playoffs.
Or bring back Paul George. Like
Oh, that would be crazy, dude. That would be crazy.
two more
Oh, I agree
names
with that.
and yeah, two more
I
names and we'll finish this up.
yeah, go ahead.
Donovan Mitchell. I think I know Cleveland severely disappointed last year in the playoffs,
Yeah,
but this guy still dropped 70. He came into Cleveland from Utah, and Darius Garland said, "Nah, you're the main guy now."
yeah,
So that goes to show how much they trust him and how much impact he will have on the Cleveland like community
yeah. He
or
had a
like
good season
Cleveland
last
culture.
year. Yeah, he had a good season
Yeah,
last year, and I think he was in the conversation with Booker and Doncic. Like he was always in
for
the
best.
conversation.
He was also in the conversation for best shooting guard of the league.
Yeah,
Obviously, that goes to Booker in my opinion.
yeah,
Booker
hundred
is the
percent.
best shooting guard in the league,
Yeah,
but I think that Donovan Mitchell is close second.
Yeah, he hasn't fallen off. Like he's been getting
No,
better too.
he is
So
not.
like yeah, I can definitely see the argument. He's top 15 potential next season for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, I forgot to say, but yeah, Devin Booker's also in one of those like, the tier to like move up. I just forgot to mention him since you talked about him so much
Yeah.
earlier.
I put him at like 5. You
I
already
know,
got him at like
yeah,
15. Yeah.
in the top. No, but I respect the guy so much.
No.
He's just a great guy. And my last one, Demontis Sabonis.
Oh, that one's pretty controversial.
I
Go
think
ahead.
Demont. I think if the Kings don't have Demontis Sabonis, they are not a playoff team.
But with him, their top's like a second
Well,
rounder team.
they made a top three. They made a top three seed last year. So
They did, but regular season does vary a lot compared to
it does,
playoffs.
but like you also have to take into if they didn't even do well in the regular season, if he wasn't even there in the regular season, they would not have even made it into the second round.
That's true. That's true.
And I just wanted so much props to the guy because like he's not the flashiest player. When I think of Kings, I think of De'Aaron Fox most days, but he is such a focal point for Sacramento.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I make the argument that I'd rather have I put Fox above Sabonis because I think Fox is the one that really runs the offense. Like he takes all the pressure off of Sabonis, whereas Sabonis is like more of a play finisher. Like on offense, like his role's kind of like a mini Jokic, but they really play through Fox a lot of the time. Like I think
But
without
they've
Fox, they're falling out to like top like a bottom 5 seed in my opinion.
they've had Fox on his own for so many years, and that
That's
didn't
true.
amount to anything.
That's
But
true.
you bring in Sabonis, and they make the top three seed. Like, come on,
But
this is
Fox's jump from last season to this season was unreal. Like it was actually unreal because Fox before he was not really. I think their team also like benefited from a lot of like very favorable shooting. Like their guys
yeah,
shot really well that year, and especially Fox. Like that was the one thing that people like didn't realize. Like he actually shot really well, not from some three, but like from the field as a whole. Like
hmm
mid range jumpers was his game. Like that was his whole thing. That and he really wasn't doing that when he was
yeah,
first coming in. And
for
this
sure.
season, like I think Sabonis and Fox both made that jump to like bolster them to a top 3 seed. Like it was
hmm
unexpected, you know. Like it kind of came out of nowhere for them to be top 3.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I guess,
uh,
but I think that when it's just Sabonis to me, he was the impact. He was the main driving force behind the change in that locker room. Like you brought him in, and now everyone just improved. Like
yeah, I
if
see.
there's no way that he doesn't come in and then the Fox and the rest of the Kings
But
roster.
so did Mike Brown. He came in too.
That is a big factor. I completely forgot like the coach of the year, but
No, but it's true. Like
completely.
Sabonis did like he was able to change. Like they changed the offense, and he was able to like I don't know.
They changed the offense to benefit Sabonis, and
Yeah,
look how
but
it.
he flourished too. Like it was not just like the offense that helped him. Like it was Sabonis being that guy to like flourish
Yeah,
too.
yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah,
But
I can
those
see
are
him being top 20. Yeah, like
yeah.
he can make an argument. Like who knows? Maybe next year he'll actually like come out shooting lights out. Then he'd be a force to reckon with.
MVP. Like I don't know,
Oh,
man.
MVP Sabonis. Let me see that, dude. Better than Arvidas, bro. Do
Oh,
you think
for
he's better than
sure.
Arvidas? Because I never watched Arvidas. Let me look at Arvidas stats
I
real
never
quick.
watched Arvidas either. I've just seen the stats, but
The way people talked about him, I was like, oh, he was like
like
the
he was
best.
like God or something, bro.
He played like what, like 6 seasons. He made all Hall of Fame. So you never
I,
know. Oh,
I'm
I
gonna
think
be
Sabonis probably is better.
I'm gonna say recency bias. Demontis is better.
Okay, I agree with that actually. So yeah, I guess that was our top 10 list.
That's our top 10. I think very similar until we get to Devin Booker. But
Yeah, that was a vast difference too.
but that's also because I try to avoid putting the same
Mm.
roster on the yeah.
Oh,
Which
I'm not gonna penalize these guys for being on the same team. Like I
yeah,
think players are players.
I guess so.
And okay, I'm not gonna. We're finishing the podcast. We're finishing the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, we're finishing this up.
We're finishing the podcast. Let me stop.
One last thing. We are not here to trash Dame. We just didn't think he deserved 75.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
Not his fault. Not his fault at all.
Dame's cool.
Dwight, Dwight should have made it.
Yeah, yeah. Dennis Johnson, Bron King.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bernard King,
NBA Live Demon, bro.
NBA Live, man. Check that
That's where he's
game.
most famous from. Yeah, obviously.
Check the game out, guys.
All right. Well, I guess that'll end today's podcast episode, and I hope to see you guys in another 2 weeks.